folks, back on the Bossman show, the front of the show, Coach Anthony Grant. The Dayton flies out of the A10, doing big things. Coach, how you doing there in Dayton today? Is it warm up there today, Coach?
You know what, man? It's been a mild summer, so I can't complain. We got good weather in terms of the day will start off in the 70s, and by mid-afternoon, it's in the 90s. So I try to stay indoors in the 90s, but it's not been bad, man.
I hear that, Coach. Coach, for you, man, going to your eighth year, man. Can you believe it's going to your eighth year already? And Dayton has flown by for
Yeah,
you, Coach.
it has. It always, you're always amazed at how quickly it does flow. But yeah, I'm grateful. This is my alma mater, so grateful that I get a chance to lead my alma mater, and been doing it here for 7 seasons, and just to continue to try to build it, man, and get us consistent and where we think we can be on a consistent basis.
And Coach, not many guys say they've had 6 winning seasons, 5 of them 20 plus win seasons, at a school, especially a tough conference as you play in. So talk about that
Yeah,
accomplishment for you and your staff and your players to, win like you have in a tough league and getting 20
yeah,
years.
yeah. No, I mean, I'm certainly grateful for what we've been able to accomplish. I think at Dayton, the bar is high. Our standard is to try to play for championships and try to put ourselves in a position where we're in that NCAA tournament and got a chance to win games in the NCAA tournament. So, at the end of the day, that's how we evaluate ourselves, and that's the standard that we have for our program and what we feel like we want to strive to do every single year. So some years we've been able to achieve that, and other years we've fallen a little short. But certainly when you look at the overall body of work, I'm very proud of what we have been able to do.
And coach, you said a word there about standards, coach, because I feel like sometimes we give people rules, but people break rules. If you set a standard or precedent, that's a whole other story about culture. So talk about
Yeah,
setting a true standard and a true culture. It might be about rules, but this is what we do here today. This is what we're about. We're being class in the weight room, on the court,
yeah,
off the court in the community. The standard of being that Dayton Flyer.
yeah. That's a great question. So for me, I'm a product of Dayton, so I know what the basketball program means on this campus, what it means in the community, and I try to make sure we portray that to all the guys that we recruit to come here, and make sure everybody on our staff understands how that works as well. But certainly, the combination of the academic piece, certainly the athletic talent piece, and then the character piece, just the who you are as a person. All that stuff, for me has to intermingle. And I think it's all related, because I think, what you want to do is you want to help kids become the best versions of themselves on and off the floor. And in order to do that, you have to have guys that have character, that have work ethic, that are competitive, that have that competitive character, and combine that with really talented guys to try to keep you at the top of the league. As you've mentioned, the A10 is a very competitive league, man. Got some really, really talented players, some really good coaches. And then every year for us, we're playing a really challenging non-conference schedule. Like this year, as you know, we're going to be in Maui, and that league that field is loaded, in terms of the competition we'll face. And then, some of the other games that we'll play in the non-conference before we ever get to conference will be, extremely challenging. So in order to be able to do that, you got to have guys that walk in the door understanding who you are, what your culture is, and how you want to do things, and what the standard is in terms of being a member of the program.
And Coach Grant, I'm going to mention Marquette, a home and home, with Coach Smart and those guys, Cincinnati. You got Wes Miller there and his staff over there. So you got,
Yeah,
that's two tough ones right there outside of Maui
yeah,
that you gotta
yeah,
play already, man.
yeah. We got a very competitive, very challenging schedule. We got, I think, Northwestern here at home, and UNLV, and so along with some other games that'll be very challenging. But that's what our players want. That's what we feel like we need to do to put ourselves in position where we can be in the conversation for an at-large bid, come March. So that that's we always talk about, we begin with the end in mind, and how do we get there? And so you got to be willing to challenge yourself, and you got to be willing to do hard stuff, right? And so we're looking forward to it, and just trying to put our group together, and see how we can be the best version of this year's team. It'll be different. because we lost a lot of key pieces off of a group that was together for a few years. So this will be a different challenge, a different way of doing things in terms of how we'll have to play to be successful. So I'm excited about figuring that out, and trying to put that together.
And Coach Grant, you brought in some quality veterans as well to help compete this year in this tough schedule you have. So talk about when you go out and recruit a young man that's a veteran and experienced, and what are you looking for that young man to help your young guys,
Yeah.
young Boston talented freshmen as well, to help show these young guys how to play the right way, how to do things the right way, how to watch film, how to pay attention to detail, scouts the right way. Because having guys who have played and have experience is very needed, but needed in tough conference that you play in.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, there's no substitute for experience, right? And so I think if you look at most successful programs in today's version of college basketball, you need some veterans on your team. So we were able to go out and add a couple of pieces to our roster that come in with a good level of experience. In Posh Alexander and Zed Key and Jacob Connor. Those three guys are transfers to us, and the portal and has been such a big part of college basketball over the last 3, 4, 5 years. It's kind of changed the whole landscape, and then also a blend of young guys that can come in and have the opportunity as freshmen to try to learn your culture and learn what it takes to be competitive in college basketball. So when you have veterans that can help that learning curve for the young guys, I think it makes a big difference. But the truth of the matter is, man, that this is all uncharted territory for all of us coaches in college basketball, just with the way the game has changed within the last 2 to 3 years. So for anybody to say that they've got it figured out, hey man, write a book and let the rest of us in on it, because it's all brand new, and that's the thing that I think a lot of us will do is we'll keep moving along like this is all normal, but the changing of the landscape over the last 2 or 3 years has been a drastic change, right? And so all the things that you talked about, you've got to be able to condense your ability to get those things across to your group. What you used to be able to do, for months or maybe years, you got to do now in weeks to months, right? To try to get your team as prepared as they can be for what you got to go against once the season starts.
And Coach Grant, this summer for you, who are some young men you want to highlight that really improved in your mind doing the workouts this summer as you head to getting ready for fall supposed to start here in a few weeks, knowing that guys are going to get back in that gym and get ready for that trip November 4th is fast
Yeah,
approaching us as we go these days fast here.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, we've had 8 weeks with our guys, and um, I wouldn't say for me it's not about trying to highlight somebody and do that. To me, it's more about what I try to do is learn, right, and figure out, okay, who do we have, right? What do they do well? Um, how can we put them in position where their skill set, their talents can help our team become the best version of itself? So I don't know that it would be fair of me to really say, okay, hey, yeah, I'm gonna pump up this individual. I think a lot of it is unknown, right? And so, we have, I don't know, 5 or 6 new guys to the team that are blending with 5 or 6, guys that have been a part of our team before. And basketball is always going to be a team game, right? And so the sum has to be greater than the individual parts if the team is going to have success. Bossman, we look at the Olympics right now. They got 12, I think, 12 or 13 of the best players in the world, and they can only play a certain combination of guys together and have the team be successful. So the most important thing is the team succeeding, right? So like if we can look at the Olympics and see, the first game, I know there's another game today, but the first game, one of the best players in the world, a couple of the best players in the world aren't in the rotation for Team USA, right? But their joy comes from the fact that the team won the game.
Oh
And
yes.
in the next game, it could be different, right? In terms of who plays and who gets the opportunity and who shines. So I think that's the beauty of team sports, right? That it takes sacrifice from everybody in order to put the team first and in order to keep your focus on what it needs to be. So I understand your question, but I look at it from the standpoint of at the end of the day, when you accomplish your goals, everybody wins. Yeah,
Oh, coach, great answer,
everybody's
coach. Great
yeah,
answer. I'm gonna follow up with this, coach, because I think now, like you just laid out, coach, a young man or his parent cannot get mad at you then at the rotation because Jason Tatum was in the rotation and was happy. So was Tyrese Halliburton. I get you want to compete and play, but for the betterment of our team, we need you to be a cheer on our guys today. So I think you say that a great lesson for your players and any other listening out here about it's about being a part of a team, being a star in your role. That's something I've always taught as a player
mm-hmm,
coach. From my
mm-hmm,
father on, to be a star in your whatever your role is, be a star in your role. So I think what you laid out in the example you laid out was a great response because it's great. That's a
yeah,
lot of players and parents out here listening to the show that, hey, if Tatum and Halliburton can be happy, you can do it too. Be starting your role that day.
yeah, yeah. No, it's a privilege, not a right. Right, it's a privilege, and yeah, we're all fortunate that we get to do something we love to do.
No doubt, coach. I want to talk to you about this game you're playing with Xavier, game with Xavier, the game you're playing
Mm-hmm.
because this is a great topic that you're highlighting mental health, suicide prevention in our youth and young adults. Because you and I both know, coach. Sometimes folks have things going on. They look like they're happy, but we can't really tell they're having issues inside. So talk about the idea with Coach Miller to play this game and kind of highlight
Yeah,
this because it's very important out there that we highlight mental health and suicide prevention because it happens too much. Too many lives have been lost because of us not addressing
yeah,
mental health and issues they have, and before they decide to take their life, and they could have saved it.
yeah, yeah. So, Bossman, this is something that's near and dear to me and my family. My wife and I, we lost our daughter to suicide 2 years ago, and you know, just changed everything, for us. And one of the things that we endeavored to do was to bring purpose to the pain that we'll go through probably the rest of our lives with not having our daughter. She was 20 at the time, and she was dealing with anxiety and depression and some mental health issues that uh, we were trying to get help for her with, but unfortunately she made a decision that ended up you know she took her life. And so we started last year uh, what we call Jay's Light Foundation in her memory to try to help reduce the stigma around mental health and mental illness, try to make people aware of some of the resources that are available for people out there that are dealing with their own mental health challenges or people that they care about, their loved ones that may be going through something and they just don't know where to go to receive help, right? Or what they can do. So I think that's the biggest thing for us is, our daughter was 20, so our focus is on that age group from high school to, 25, 26, 27 years old, that demographic that goes through it. But certainly this is something that we realize touch kids as young as elementary school and people as old as senior citizens that go through these different challenges at different phases of their life for a variety of different reasons. And so if we can use basketball uh, and the passion that our fan bases here at Dayton and at Xavier have around the sport to educate and bring awareness and help reduce the stigma to those people that would be interested in tuning in. Hopefully, they walk away better equipped. That if they're going through something, or a family member's going through something, or if at some point in the future either of those two things take place, that they'll remember maybe a couple things that they learned just by tuning in that can help make a difference and save lives. And if we can accomplish that, then you know uh, that's a win for us.
100%, coach. I want to finish up with I'll talk about some of your players. Obi, Tamani, and Jalen competing like heck in the league, doing great things. So talk about this, seeing those young men. Obi getting a new contract. Tamani out there with the Blazers who are rebuilding, and Jalen still fighting the G League to get in the league. Yeah, it was tough for a short time this season. So how happy are you with those young men, their efforts to keep competing to play this game at the pro level and represent the Dayton
Yeah.
on the NBA level?
Yeah, man, I'm just really proud of them, for what they've been able to accomplish. And we've got some other guys that are having success, playing overseas and making a living playing the game, and other guys that have gotten into the coaching ranks that have come through. So, when you can see, people that you've had a chance to impact go on and be successful and achieve their goals and dreams, that's why you do what you do, to try to help people become the best version of themselves. So I'm certainly proud of all of those guys, for what they've accomplished, and probably more importantly, the way they've done it. Because they believed, they bought in, they sacrificed, they succeeded. They're great human beings, and you wish the best, for all of them in everything that they're doing, whether it's in basketball or away from the game.
And Coach Grant, how have you been trying to, last one for you, how have you been trying to kind of, keep the Dayron's spirits up after his injury? He had so much hope there with the Nuggets, and they drafted him in the first round. He was going to do some things for them, and he got injured. So how have you been trying to keep him pumped up and keep him motivated as on his road to
Yeah,
recovery to being back on for Mike Malone and those guys, hopefully next year on
yeah,
that court for him?
yeah. Well, first of all, the Rons are very, very positive and uh, just mature kid when it comes to stuff like that. He's got a tremendous family, mom and dad, and his brothers and grandparents and support system around him. And then I know, the Nugget organization is going to wrap their arms around him. He's in Denver. He's had his surgery and he's gone. He's already started his rehab. So we talk, on a regular basis, and he's in good spirits. I think he understands that what happened was out of his control, and now he's got to go to the next thing, and that's attacking the rehab and taking advantage of whatever he can learn while he's going through the rehab and watching, his teammates and learning as much as he can about the pro game and just trying to take it in a positive manner in terms of what he can do. A lot of times we focus on what we can't do, and we neglect what we can do. So I think he's got the right mindset of understanding, here's what I can do while I'm in the process of rehabbing, and there's no doubt he'll make a full recovery. He'll be able to get back on the court here. He'll miss this season, but he'll make a full recovery, and he's got a long, hopefully a long career ahead of him. With Denver and in the NBA.
100%. Well, Coach Grant, I thank you for your time today. It was good to chat with you. You definitely helps people today, inspire people today on this show. And I look forward to seeing you again down the road. And I hope wish you all the best of success. And I'm always cheering for you in your corner,
Always,
Coach.
brother. Always good to talk to you.
And Coach, it's fun as always, brother.
Same here.
All
Same here.
right.
All right, boss. Take care, man.